After a well-placed bow shot, I lift my bow above my head in triumph, reflecting on all of the hard work, all of the energy that I left in the field. For what? For the passion that drives me to pursue wild game in remote places. So you ask, why do I shoot a Bowtech? Bow hunting is not my hobby. It's my way of life. I can sum it up in one word. In this word goes all of my high-speed testing, the hundreds of man-hours of engineering. The Bowtech has created superior technology in the marketplace. That single word is trust. Trust in myself and trust in my bow. I'm an archer. My name is Jim Burnworth, and I shoot a Bowtech.
Bowtech's Western Extreme, brought to you by Bowtech Archery. Refuse to follow. Big Buck Down, the photo sharing app for hunters.
This week, Western Extreme is in Zimbabwe, Africa, after the largest land mammal in the world with a bow and arrow. It's a quest and a dream that I've waited for over a decade.
We're in South Africa and we're going to be headed to Zimbabwe over the next week and a half to go after elephant with a bow and arrow. 2.5 years ago, I was in camp with this one, a 109-pounder Bowtech made for me, extremely special for shooting a 960 grain arrow out of this bow and producing almost 130 foot-pounds of kinetic energy. It's no secret that the archery industry is advancing every single year. I mean, the bows are becoming much more efficient, less noise and vibration, lightning speeds, and long axle to axle like this brand new Insanity XL. So is this one at 84 pounds to brand new technology today better than an old platform that's 4 or 5 years old? 82 pounds out of this brand new Insanity XL. We're going to shoot her through the chronograph and do the math. Well, that new Insanity XL at 208 feet a second, and now we're going to run the old Tribute through there at 108, 109 pounds and see where it comes out at number-wise. It came out 208 right there. So they're both 208. Well, after a head-to-head comparison with the brand new Insanity XL and the older Tribute, I have to pull 25 to 30 pounds more with this one to get the same amount of kinetic energy as the new technology. I trust this bow more. It's newer, it's more advanced, it's a little longer axle to axle, it's going to be a little more forgiving to make the shot. And so I'm going to stick with the Insanity XL, but now we're going to give you the numbers. We're going to work them out and generate the kinetic energy that both of these bows are producing with that 1242 grain arrow. You basically take speed times weight and divide it by, Ray?
450,240.
And what's the kinetic energy work out?
119.7 foot-pounds of energy.
So I think we're going to be able to get some good penetration on this elephant, and definitely if we can shoot him in the heart and through the lungs, he shouldn't run very far.
Loxodonta africana, or the African bush elephant. It's beautiful, it's dangerous, but there's too many of them at the moment. The biggest population of African elephants is situated around Botswana, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe having about 120,000.
Isak Kirsten's a first-class guy. Him and I have been hunting together for almost 8 years. He's not a guy that's just hunted one piece of ground. He has literally traveled all throughout Africa. He's very much like Ray and I. He seeks adventure. He has spent a lot of time elephant hunting. His experience is invaluable when you're on a dangerous game hunt.
There's not many people capable and have the skills to really go after an elephant with a bow and arrow. But we've been planning over a year to do this, and I'm sure we'll be having a good success.
A lot of people ask me, Jim, why would you want to hunt an elephant? Number one, I seek adventure. I love hunting animals in wild places, and hunting something this big and adventurous is just absolutely amazing. And then number two, I like bringing awareness to animals that normally would never be seen on the network. Things that have whole stories around them that people and families and cultures are attached to that we never get to see. And that's what elephant hunting is all about. And number three, because there aren't any more Tyrannosaurus rexes left.
This elephant hunt is about to commence. Been waiting a really long time to pull this off. We found the right track and we're gonna be on it. Remember, you two, keep those boomsticks off of my elephant. Just remember that I'm gonna protect both of you with this right here. I'm telling you, one arrow, that's it, that's all we need.
Once you find that elephant track, game on. Put some water in your pack and get ready to walk.
Well, some people like Jimmy will be crazy enough to go after an elephant that's weighing over 20,000 pounds with a bow and arrow. Luckily, I've got Ray behind me to protect us.
More and more elephants are coming out of here. This is what I dreamed about. Coming to Africa and being able to see these elephants like this, where there are herds and herds and herds of them. We've got now 4 different groups that came out of the timber and they've all converged to the water. There are several good bulls in there. Game on. We're going to make our stalk. These elephants are literally right here, right now. This is where people get killed. Is hunting in big groups of elephants like this. We gotta play our cards right. We're not even 80 yards from them right now.
Elephant hunting is extremely dangerous. You have to pay attention to your pHs. You need to make sure that you're paying attention to your surroundings.
And all it would take is for one bad swirl and this elephant's going to smell us, and he could jump and run, or he could jump and charge, and we've got a lot of people here to protect.
My heart is too big right now, and that elephant is too small. Oh my gosh. You need some adrenaline in your life. Elephant hunting or the bow deck.
You know, I asked everybody that's watching my show today, have an open mind about elephant hunting. There is definitely way too many elephants without enough hunters. Everything on the planet has to be conserved, and everything on the planet has to be managed. And the elephants are way out of check throughout Zimbabwe. We're in Zimbabwe right now, where there's an estimation of 100,000 elephants that migrate in and out of here every year. They come out of Botswana, different parts of Africa, and they all arrive here for water as it starts to dry up. Now this park can sustain about 44,000 elephants. So they have an excess of about close to 55,000 extra elephants that are coming in and out of here, and every other tree has been knocked on, chewed on. And if you realize a big bull elephant weighs so much, he's so strong, he could take his head, push a tree over that's 70 years old, take one leaf off of it and completely walk away.
Yeah, well, we've seen that while you were walking with me, and they really destroy in a big way, as gentle as they seem, and they won't just pick a leaf, like you say. But there's plenty around here.
Yep, there's lots of elephants. We're seeing lots of elephant tracks, but it's quite amazing to see this concentration right here. I think we're in the right place. It's pretty cool to be part of a conservation program like this. Elephant hunting is extremely dangerous. You have to pay attention to your pHs. You need to make sure that you're paying attention to your surroundings. The adrenaline that you feel, the senses that come alive when you're dangerous game hunting. There's nothing else like it on earth.
What is very important is that when you do go after dangerous game, that the PH mustn't only have confidence in his client, but the client definitely has to have confidence into the professional hunter that's supposed to protect him in that specific situation.
Well, that was a cow and her baby. We were really evaluating the binoculars at 30 yards. She was right there. And all of a sudden the wind swirled. She heard something to her left right here. And then she just postured like she was going to charge. She definitely got her attention.
So depending on how old that track is and when you found it and how you got on it will determine how far you have to walk. And many times we run out of daylight trying to track that elephant.
The end of another day.
It was a full day.
We saw well over 100 elephants today. It was really a lot of fun, but we walked our tails off. Gonna run back to camp, grab some grub, wake up tomorrow morning and find out if the Bowtech is king of the jungle.
And if not, plan B.
I don't think that full moon's not helping any.
You know, one of the cool things about hunting is meeting hunters. And you never know who you're gonna meet. And through our really good friends at Highveld Taxidermy, basically the largest taxidermist in the world there in South Africa, we got the special privilege to be able to go see one of the largest trophy rooms in the world. You know, Thomas and I have been friends for a really long time. And it was really neat for Ray and I and his dad to all hang out together. And they had mounted every single animal in this entire trophy room. And what's neat about it is every one of them has a story. Every one of them is in a special piece of art. Every one of them is bringing awareness to that animal.
Well, this has got to be one of the coolest things we've ever shown here on Western Extreme. And I'm with good friend Isak Kirsten, my PH, and behind us an African elephant, one that weighed in at 94 pounds. Spectacular. But the biggest thing we're talking about is shot placement. Obviously, we're doing this with a bow this week. It's extremely technical. It might be the most difficult 20-yard shot I've ever made. We worked out kinetic energy, had enough bow weight. We put 23% weight forward on the arrow itself and using that Ashby broadhead. But now we've got to shoot that arrow absolutely perfect in order to take down the largest land mammal in the world, the African elephant. Isak, I mean, this is huge. I mean, when you stand next to these, you really realize how big they really are.
People don't always realize how big is an elephant and how big is an elephant bull. The heart lies right about here. If I can reach that, about that size. We need to try and get behind this huge bone, which is about that thick. In the moment we hit bone,
Over with.
it's over with. You need to have him a little bit quartering away from you and try and get him in behind this thick bone that goes up here. If you can get him in at that angle, to the middle of the body where the heart lies.
So I have to be extremely critical and make sure that that elephant is calm. I'm going to make sure that I'm not hitting any big bone structure. I need to make sure that I'm not too quartered and he's not completely broadside, because every inch he's quartered, that's more penetration I need in order to get in the center of that chest. This has been a 12-year dream of mine to be able to hunt these, and what people don't realize is there are so many elephants in Africa, and there's definitely not enough hunters coming over here. So we're back on the hunt. Got a stick and a string in hand, and we're shooting the largest thing on earth that you can stick with a bow and arrow. We're days into the hunt, and we're trying to find a really good bull, and we find a really good track. So we're walking up their back trail where they can't see us. And we find this big bull elephant that's coming out of the water.
Exactly what we're looking for. That's a really nice bull elephant right at the water right now.
He had just come out of a water source and he was headed up into a small little patch of trees.
A big bull elephant is out here drinking water. We've got a complete circle. We're on the opposite side of the wind. We believe he's going to take a trail in here. This was the trail he used to go to water, so we're going to intercept him when he gets back in this timber. My heart is pumping right now. This is a really big bull elephant.
Yeah, his body is perfect. That's what we were looking for. And very mature. And this is one of the problem elephants that we want to take out of this area.
And we get around the back side, and that elephant is literally less than 30 yards away from us. And and that elephant turns around, comes running directly at us, and I draw my bow as I'm staring in the eyes of that elephant, thinking this is the last arrow that I potentially will ever shoot in my life. This is a real threat. Ray, I trust him. He has a firearm in his hand. Esau also has a firearm and is also capable of making that one good brain shot. And luckily, that elephant didn't come. He turned and ran. But it was a moment that I'll never forget.